This is video class lesson 79, starting with our dive video. Systems of equations with subscripted variables. Subscripted, if you just look up in your glossary, in your textbook, it says that it is just letters with a subscription, like you have N sub D, or N means number and D means domain, and the number of domains, or something like that. So Natalie and David, N sub D. That's what these subscriptions are, and these are systems of equations with these subscriptions. So the systems of equations come in when there are several subscripts in one equation. Like RA times TA plus RP times TP equals 320. They're substitutes. RP means 60, TP means 4, and TA means 3. So we just put those numbers in place of the letters. And we need to figure out what the following system, we do that by using our values here. So RA is what we are trying to find. RA times TA would mean RA times 3 plus 50 plus 4, the other variable, equals 320. So RA times 3 plus 200 equals 320. Now we're going to start to solve. Subtract 200 from both sides and get RA times 3 equals 120. Okay, what number? 3 equals 120, okay? 3 goes into 120 40 times, so RA must equal 40. We have 40.3 equals 120, and 50.4 plus 20, equals 200. And when you add those together, you get your 320. Okay? Lesson 79, we're going to solve the following systems for RF and RE. So don't stop at RF. Make sure you read the directions again before every time you think you're finished, because you got to make sure that you've done everything. RF times TF equals RE times TE. So what is RF? We're going to substitute in our known values for these letters. 16 and 12 are our known values. RE is the same as this, but plus 15. So RF plus 16 equals RE times RF plus 15 times 12. So RF plus 16 equals 12 RF plus 180. Now we can solve. Subtract 12 from both sides and get 180. 4RF equals 180, because this cancels. And then we end up dividing by 4 on both sides, and we get 45. So RF equals 45. But are we done? We solved for RF. Are we done? No, we're not. We have to make sure the left side equals the right side. And we always need to reread our directions to see if we are done. And we are not done yet, because we have not solved this one, RE, yet. We only solved RF. RE equals RF plus 15. So if RF equals 45 plus 15, that will equal 60. So RE equals 60. Now we're done. Okay, so here's our introduction. We're going to be repeating some things just to show you this in a clear way. You know, hearing it twice is always good, but it's not exactly the same thing twice. It's a little differently explained. All right, so the systems. Okay, so uniform motion word problems is what we are actually doing here. The variables, like S would represent speed, and T would represent time, and R would represent 8. ST and R easier values than XYZ because they're associated with what they're representing. The rate of Mike would be the RM, R sub m. Sort of like 3 onto the square root of 10. It's just kind of, it's not exactly like that at all, but it just, they're related. R sub m. Joni's rate would be RJ. Ann's rate would be RA. The rate of Ann. TA would be Tina's rate, you know. The rate of Patrick would be RP. Okay, and then they have numbers that represent all these. So in example 1, Ann and Pat's rate and times are what we're going to be figuring out. RA is going to equal 50. TA is going to equal 3. And plus RP plus is going to be plus 4. So it's going to equal 320 in all. So the RP is 50, the TP is 4, and the TA is 3. The rate and time of Ann, the rate and time of Pat. That's what we're solving for. So 50 times 4, and we're going to write it down with 3 RA plus 50 times 4 equals 320. 3 RA plus 200 equals 320. Minus 200 on both sides gives us RA equals 120. Then we divide by 3 on both sides, and we get RA equals 40. So 40 is the rate of Annie. Example, okay, about the rabbit and the turtle. I do hope you're following along in your text so you'll know what we're talking about. The rate of the turtle and the time of the turtle plus 120 equals the rate of the turtle and the rate of the rabbit and the time of the rabbit. Here's our table of numbers that represent these variables. We're going to move TR to the other side to solve. And we divide by 8 on both sides. And then we reread the directions. And they want us to find T plus TR. And since T and T plus TR are equal, that means we are done. And TT is also equal 15. All right, let's look at our problem. TT and TR are equals. Plus 120 equals RR, which is 10. 2 TR plus 120 equals 10 TR. The time of the rabbit, both sides, 120 equals the time of the rabbit. And so 15 equals the time of the rabbit and the time of the turtle. Example 3, little brother and sis. The rate of little brother is 40. The time of the little brother stays. The rate of sister is 80, and the time of sister is negative time of little brother minus 5. So we're going to solve 40. Time of little brother equals 80. Time of little sister minus 400. 80 from both sides equals 40. TL equals negative 400. We just bring that down. And we're going to cancel and get TL equals 40 into 400, which equals 10. So TL is 10. And time of sister is 10 minus 5 equals 5. Okay, now we're going to do our freight and express. The rate of the freight and the time of the freight equals the rate of the express and times the time of the express. $16, the rate of the freight equals the rate of the freight plus 15 times 12. 16 and the rate of the freight equals, they're going to cancel out the 12 on both sides, and we're going to get 180 over 4 when we divide. which is going to give us 45. Now, the rate of the freight equals 45 plus 15 more, so that's why we're going to have 60. Now let's move on to practice. RA times TA plus RP times TP equals 460. Now we're going to put the numbers in it, and that's what we're going to get when we get the numbers in it. Then we're going to start our solving by adding or subtracting both sides. And then we're going to divide to get our final answer, and it's stuff you've done before. Same with letter B in practice. We're going to find TT. We're going to find RR. 10 TT plus 200 equals 15 times TT plus 10. You always replace 3 variables. You always leave only 1 variable. You know you're done when you have only 1 variable left. 10 TT plus 200 equals 15 TT plus 150. You subtract 10 from both sides and you're going to get 200 equals 5 TT plus 150. Subtract 150 from both sides and you're going to get 50 equals 5 TT, and then we're going to do our division. We get 5 goes into 50 20 times, so we're going to get 10 equals TT. But we're not done. Now we got to find TR. 10 plus 10, which is 20. Problem set. On problem set 79, we are, I'm just going to skim through here. You know, this is our 4 consecutive even numbers, so we know that we are to skip every other number, leaving out all the odds, so that our answers will be even numbers, but they're also negative. So we're going to count 8, 6, 4, 2. All right. So I'm going to skim over this. Here we need 4 consecutive even integers, and these are negative 2. Well, this is the same problem. And this is how 8, 6, 4, 2. Okay, and you know, we have this part of the number line which makes a less than sign, and this part of the number line that makes the greater than sign, so that should help a lot too. Maybe that's even where they named the greater than and less than signs. All right, number 2 is about probability. 3. You'll just go ahead and stop this, pause this, and look at this at your own pace. You've seen all of these things. You may not need to even look at this, but if you do, you just go ahead and pause it. I'll try to do an overview here so you can kind of see it all. And definitely read the comments and write them down. We multiplied everything by 1 here, because we do not need a negative number for the answer. Okie doke. We'll be doing this one next.